Welcome to my channel. Today we will focus on how to calculate trigonometry ratio for any angle. So before we start with it, I want you to understand this that when two lines intersect with an angle of 90 degree, it divides your plane into four quadrants. So, and we name it a little different. We name it like this. That will be a first quadrant. This is the second quadrant. This is the third quadrant. And this is the fourth quadrant. Now, when we talk about angle, angle is always measured in anti-clockwise direction. So I hope everyone knows what is anti-clockwise direction. It's a direction that we go in this manner, and the clockwise is like how the clock works. Now, because of this, if you notice the quadrant that is made and the angle, how do we measure the angle is, it starts from here, this being the 0 degree, this is the 90 degree, this is 180 degree, this is 270 degree, and when we finish one full cycle, we come back to the original position, it becomes 360 degree. Yeah. Now, so as I told you that angle is always measured anti-clockwise direction. So let's say if I have an angle, for example, if I have angle 65 degrees, 65 degree will lie in the first quadrant. Why? Because I can see that in the first quadrant, any value that is between 0 and 90 degree will lie in the first quadrant. So I can make this. So we are going to draw a rough diagram for us to understand it clearly. So this particular line, it's a rough one which I'm drawing. And with the arrow, it helps us to understand that this is what 65 degree is. Now, if I change the question, let's say I don't want 65, I want 225. Now, 225 will lie in, look at the different quadrants that is there, identify where your 225 degree angle will lie. So by looking at it, I know that it will lie in the third quadrant, so somewhere here. Again, it's a rough drawing, and the angle with an arrow, if we make it like this, we understand that this is 225. Yeah. Okay. Now, what about, there are cases when it is a negative angle. What about those questions? How are we going to do it? How are we going to draw that? So, drawing is kind of similar. The only thing is the direction changes. Instead of taking anti-clockwise, we take clockwise. Do understand that when we talk about angle, anti-clockwise direction is always positive and clockwise direction is negative. So, how do we represent a clockwise directions? We write a negative symbol. So, it is negative, let's say I take 145 degree. Okay. So, we do not go in this particular direction, we go opposite to that. We have to go in clockwise direction. So, in clockwise direction, what happens here is this will be 90 degree. I need some more 55 degree more in order for me to get 145, so which will lie in the third quadrant. So the angle will be something like this, with this as the arrow mark telling us that this is 145 degree. Yeah. Now let's say if I want to make for negative 330 degree, that will be, think about it, which quadrant it will be. It will be in the first quadrant. So I will just draw a line like this, and again I will draw this particular arrow indicating that this entire angle is negative 330. This entire angle is negative 330. Okay, these concepts are very important for AS level. Okay, so based on this, we have a lot of new topics coming up. So, drawing an angle, you should be thorough with it. I hope you have understood. Now, let's move to the next part of it. Now, in your IG, you have already learned that when we have different quadrants, in different quadrants, it's not like the all the trigonometry ratios are positive. Only for certain type of angles, it will be positive. So, let me just draw this again. We will do radians questions also. We'll do one thing. We'll just do that radians question. So in radians is the same thing. We start with 0. 90 degree will convert into radian, which becomes pi by 2. This will be pi. This will be 2 pi by 3. Uh, we'll cut this and we'll do it again. So we learned about how to draw different angles. So why do we need that is everything is based on this particular topic. So let's say I have 225 degree and I want to draw it. So when you draw it, a small diagram is enough. Okay. So when you think about it, this will be 0 degree, this is 90 degree, this is 180 degree, this one is 270 degree, and one full cycle is your 360 degree. Now 225 is an angle that is little bit more than 180. So which will lie in the second quadrant. So somewhere here, sorry, not in second quadrant, my bad, it's in third quadrant, somewhere here. So this angle is 225 degree. Now my main focus here is to identify an acute angle for this particular thing. So the acute angle that this angle makes with the x-axis. What will be the acute angle that it will make with the x-axis is this particular distance. What is the distance? How much it is more than 180? That value is 45 degree. Okay, let's move on to another question where we have to identify the acute angle. Let's say the angle is 140. Okay, or let's say the 140. Let's do it for 140. Somewhere here, this angle is 140 degree, and I've drawn the arrow which indicates that we have gone anti-clockwise direction. So what will be the acute angle for this particular angle that it makes with the x-axis? Acute angle, if you know acute angle definition, it is an angle that lies between 0 to 90 degree. That is this angle. This angle is what? This angle is will be, so it's, if you notice, in order for me to create half of a cycle, I need a little bit more of an angle. How much more I need is 40 degree so that it becomes half of the cycle, which is 40. So do understand that 40 degree is the acute angle for this particular angle that we just now drew. Yeah. Now, since we have only done for degrees, we will also do it for radians. Radians, yes, you can get questions related to that. So if you have a very good understanding with degrees, you will be able to do well with radians as well. So in radians, we know that 0 degree is same as 0 rad. Now here, 90 degree is pi by 2, 180 degree is pi. This one will be 3 pi by 2, and one full cycle is 2 pi. Now, if the question is to draw angle which is 2 pi by 3, Now, if you want, there are two ways to do it. Either you convert this into degrees and identify which quadrant it will lie, or the other way is you can use your calculator, see where it lies, see whether it is more than 90 degree or more than 180 or more than this to identify which quadrant it lies. Okay, the idea is same. So there are two ways, your choice. I'll show you both. So let's say if I convert this into degree. So in degree me, I know that 2 into 180 divided by 3 is equal to 120 degree. And 120 degree lies in the second quadrant. So somewhere here, the figure will be somewhere here. And this particular angle, if we go in a anti-clockwise direction, will be 2 pi by 3. And if I ask you the question that what is the angle that it makes with the x-axis, acute angle, how much more I need for it to, how much far away it is, just do it. It just, the answer is pi by 3. Okay. What I have to do? I just have to do pi minus 2 pi by 3. That's how I got that value. Okay. Pi minus 2 pi by 3, which gives me the answer as pi by 3. That is the acute angle that it makes with the x-axis. Now, if I don't want to use degrees, I want to use rad. How do we do that? Is what you can do is you can use the calculator and find out what are these values. These are in pi terms, right? Let's find out what are these values in rad. That means we are going to substitute the value of pi as 3.142 and see what is the value that we are getting. So when I substitute, this comes as 1.5707, and the value of pi everyone knows, and 3 pi by 2 is 4.712, and 2 pi is nothing but 6.284. Okay, now after doing this, after I know this part, what I can do is I will find out what is this value in rad. That means I'm going to substitute the value of pi as 3.14 and find out that value. So it gave me the answer as 2.943, or 2.09. Sorry, 2.09 is the value that I've got. Identify where it lies. Look at the value. Okay, so it tells me this value will lie between 1.57 and 3.14. That means it will lie in the second quadrant. So that's it. And just draw it. Same thing you're going to draw. You're not going to write 2.0943. You're going to write the original question that was given in here. Okay, so 2 pi by 3. That's it. Yeah.